What's up YouTube, BigSweetC here with you. Got another video on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Today I wanted to talk about something that I was admittedly a little guilty of myself, and that was when I first heard that the Final Fantasy VII Remake was only going to be basically up through Midgar. I was a little skeptical at first, because here I am thinking, what, they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna charge you full price for a 5-hour game? What in the world would they be thinking? And this is what I talk about all the time, the hype train. I come across the rabbit hole, I go down said path, I take what is it, the red pill, and I end up in a world that I don't want to be in. So this is why I do not follow the hype train, and this is why I wanted to bring this video to you talking about said rabbit hole, because apparently this idea that you're not buying a full game is coming back around, and I just wanted to talk about that. I think that is a stupid idea and it needs to go away. Anybody who has played the demo has kind of realized, I think, that there is definitely more to this than there was the original game. And I don't think they should have probably called it a Final Fantasy VII Remake so much as a reimagining. This is going to be the beginning of a franchise, if you will. This is the first part of the Lord of the Rings version of Final Fantasy VII. So they're breaking it up into pieces, but they're doing that because each of the pieces are going to be big enough to be considered a full game. And there's proof in the pudding if you watch the demo on how everything is going to work. First and foremost, the battle system is completely restructured. It almost makes it look like Square was using 15 as like a beta program to design the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because you have what feels like a more in-depth, complex, but yet more full version of Final Fantasy 15 when it comes to the battle system in this game. But at the same time, it's still a traditional RPG in a lot of respects. You hit the X button, you essentially pause time, and it gives you as much time as you want to plan your attack. Having said that, obviously, if you do not have the ATB gauges to do your attack, you're not going to be able to do anything, but it will still give you time to pause, relax, and chill out, plan your next strategy. There are also certain things that I don't see a whole lot of people utilizing, myself included, like the quick actions. You can map certain actions, like using items or doing attacks, to L1 and a specific button. I don't see a whole lot of people using that, so I'm curious how that plays out. Will you be able to use different attacks from different modes? When you master a mode, will you be able to continue switching through said mode as you learn another one? There are certain things out there that need to be answered, or maybe they have been answered and I just haven't noticed them yet. I'm also curious as how the partners in the group will work. I'm assuming there's only going to be 3 people per party, but at the same time, when I am not controlling them, are they going to have innate actions that they do? Or am I going to be able to do like a Final Fantasy XII kind of gambit system, where I choose which actions they do under certain priorities? I'm curious how it's going to play out. The idea of the whole battle system has been completely restructured, while at the same time being completely the same. Now, I do hear there's going to be a hard mode for those of you who, those of us, I should say, because I'm going to play this through a couple of times. If you initially beat the first game, there's going to be then a hard mode. I'm curious how the hard mode is going to be. Is it no longer you hit the action button? You only have to map stuff to what you want them to do? I have no idea what's going to make it harder than this. This was I don't want to say super difficult. I mean, it's not like we ever, I've played it a bunch of times now, and I never really die. I also don't do any of the challenges, like no healing and stuff like that. But it's not super difficult, you know. Anybody who's played any RPGs will be able to get through it. But there is supposed to be a hard mode, so I'm curious how that's going to take place. There's also going to be more details to come in the story itself as well. Not just in terms of the actual story. As it progresses, you notice when you get into the areas where Cloud is supposed to be hearing Zack's voice in his head, it just flashes kind of like a green Mako look, and then he knows what's going on. You don't hear a voice, you don't see any text on screen. I'm curious how they're going to play that out. I wonder if they're just going to keep it the same, and that's going to be part of the mystery. I wonder if they do have a voice actor and they just decided to take him out for the demo. Obviously, they're going to have somebody for Zack, but I don't necessarily think that you need him in this first one if it's only going up to possibly Calm. I can't think of, unless they go into more of the story with when Cloud and Aerith are interacting. Aerith is talking about her backstory. Maybe Tifa and Cloud have a reminisce that I'm unthinking of. But there's certain things I'm curious how they're going to play those out as well. Not to mention the Heidegger and the President Shinra interaction as well, where they talk about the attempt on the president's life. This could be a number of things. Maybe it was his son. Maybe Rufus was behind the attack. I doubt it was Cloud. I doubt it was Avalanche. There could be a whole number of people. Maybe it was the mayor. We all know that the mayor hates the president. Hates the company overall in general. Maybe it was Wutai. Maybe it was Yuffie. Maybe Yuffie's in town. Maybe we'll see a guest appearance on her part in this game. So many things could play out in this through what are supposed to be a lot of side quests, bonus places you can go. You can go into different areas now that you weren't able to access in the first one. There's supposed to be 30 hours worth of extra content in the game. All be told, I've heard speculation that the game is going to be anywhere between like 30 and 50 hours in length if you play everything. That is a full-size game. You can tell because there's going to be DLC in it. If you pre-order, you get a summon. Depending on which pre-order you get, you might get a few summon materia this early in the game. I'm trying to think, the first time in the actual game when you get summon materia for the first time is the Choco Mog. The first time you visit the Chocobo farm. That's way after Midgar. So there's gonna be a lot more to this game that it was not included in the original. We'll see. We'll have to see how. we've only seen speculation on how the Honeybee Inn is going to play out. I'm excited about that. We've all seen the trailer. Again, I try not to speculate too much. I try not to go into leaks. I try not to go into any spoilers, any hype theory. But there's going to be a lot more to this game. So I think the idea that this is going to be bland and that you're paying full price for a third of a game, I think this idea needs to go away. And I feel bad because I originally thought that idea, and I do not anymore. So either way, that's going to do it for this one. BigSweetC, that's me wishing YouTube, that's you, a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it might be. As long as you're watching, I'm wishing you a wonderful watching time. Sweetness, signing off. Peace.